Right then.
Right then, right.
Welcome everyone to our live stream. As you can see,
how cool is our green screen behind? It's amazing.
No, we sat in the garden. So that's quite exciting. We're doing a live stream with our Wi-Fi because thanks to Kevin, Paulie went to B&Q and got a new cable today, didn't you?
Well, Kevin and Andrea.
Yes.
Because I was told to check my open reach box. And when I did, I unplugged the cable going to it. And to say it looked bedraggled would be an understatement. I'm amazed that we had any Wi-Fi at all, to be honest. So, yes, I've, because I'm, I say I'm a handyman. Anything handy about me is I live here. But, so, yeah. So now we're in the garden and we've got 9 million.
No, so the
so much others.
For those that you know about sort of upload and download speeds, we've got 69 Mbps's. So we should not get any interruptions. You should not get any issues. So fingers crossed, because the last few live streams have been a bit frustrating, hasn't it?
Famous last words. Isn't that Korean boy band Mbps?
No, I think that's something else. Probably KPG. No, I don't know who they are. But anyway, I want to just say hi to Jack, because Jack was here at 4:30. Put the first comment in the comments. So hi, Jack. Lovely to see you here. And it's great that you love our live chats as we do.
Jack wasn't the first one here. There's one before.
Well, no, Michael has joined as a member, so we've got a few new members today on Patreon. So if you want to know more about that, then do check the description below. Our patrons, actually, I want to say a big thank you to those and our YouTube members, because we've been looking at, I don't know if you've seen on our social media, but we've been we've been designing a new logo with a lovely lady called Nicola, who has been so patient, because she's been saying something. I've been, no, not quite. Dan the Cruiser will know what I mean, because he's been helping us with, obviously, organising our group cruise, which we'll go on to shortly. And I am a little bit of a, I guess you could say, a perfectionist, or just or Paul calls it a pain in the butt.
Let me sum things up for you. Dan, I believe, is 27. His mum said to him today, Dan, looks like you got some grey hair coming.
And that's been married to me.
I never had a grey hair in my head until I met this woman.
But anyway, so back to our live stream. So yes, so thank you to all the members of the patrons that have been giving us input on the logo, and also on our t-shirts that are now being sent off to get what's the matter?
Just looking at the birds behind.
Now we're going to get some samples, so we're really excited about that. So many exciting things going on, isn't there?
Oh, totally. I'm to be fair, I'm not. You're going to get a very quiet hour from me, because I'm so worried about saying the wrong thing, because Carole, not as inappropriate, but we've got so much stuff going on. I'm going to say the wrong thing. She's going to kick me in the
kahunas,
the shins. And so I'm only going to speak when I'm spoken to tonight, like a very good boy.
Right, so let's see. There's lots of people here already, which is great. Always lovely to see Sean here. So we had a lovely, great chat the other night, didn't we, on our first Zoom call? We got another tier on our Patreon and YouTube members, and that was so much fun. And Emma Cruz has joined us too, which was brilliant. So that was fabulous. So let's see. So Jack's asking, what is your next cruise and what ship you'll be going on? So next week we are off. We're flying to Palma in Mallorca, and we are joining Morella Voyager, which we're really excited about, aren't we?
She's a brand spanking new second-hand ship.
Yeah, that's a bit contradictory.
But yeah, we're on the Maiden, so I think they're having a shakedowny thing, which is for illustrious guests and staff and things like that. But we're actually on the Maiden voyage, and that is a week.
Friday,
a week tomorrow. Yeah.
So we're also extended our, because what Morella do well is that they do actually cruise and stay. So we've also got a 3-night stay in Palma afterwards, just to chill out and just to explore a bit of that area too. So we're really looking forward to that. So exciting
we're really looking
times.
forward to it, until I said to Carole, have you seen the weather in Spain at the moment?
Yes.
And they're having flash floods.
Yes, it looks really wet.
We'd have been better off staying at home.
Well, we've had glorious weather, which is why we're sat in the garden for the last week, and it looks like it's going to continue, doesn't it, all over the weekend? Totally. Paul's off racing this weekend, and I've got a lovely quiet weekend, just me in the house, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it.
And so have I should be in a field with 450 race cars, and it'll still be peaceful.
So let's say, so Sean always makes a good point, is if you have a question, please start it with a question. So appreciate that. And oh, we've got leaves falling on the laptop. Don't press anything.
Don't press the off button.
And Sherry said, hi, Paul and Carole, I have a hair appointment at 2:30 EST, so won't be able to watch the whole thing, but still watch the replay and give it a thumbs up. Yeah, I also want to say thank you to everyone that joins us, because not everyone joins us live. People watch it on catch up, and we get sort of between 2,000 and 3,000 people watch our lives, which is brilliant. Before and after it's gone out.
Not before.
Well, not before.
Nobody watches it before.
No, that's true. But you know what I mean. So if you do miss any of our lives in the week, we've got a playlist with them all on, and you can catch up. So Ken Goes Cruising's here, so it's always lovely to see Ken and Lindsay.
I don't know whether this will take your
approval.
Yes. Because I've got some Stowford Press dark fruit.
Can't you get it out of your Thailand condom?
No.
Is it stuck in there?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm joking.
For anyone that don't know, these are called Thailand condoms.
They're not called Thailand condoms. They're called beer condoms.
Yes, they are, which we found hilarious when we first went to Thailand. And that was Paul was drinking out of a condom. Well, I did. But anyway, we digress.
That's because she's very childish.
So, Patrick and Francis are here, so it's always lovely to see you. Good evening. And hello from Patrick and Francis. Missed the last few lives, but glad you're here. So that's great. Mary's joined, so that's always lovely to see you. And Dan the Cruiser. Now, Dan's been, we're so glad.
Or as he's now known, grey-haired Dan the Cruiser.
We're so glad that we met Dan on a cruise going back a few years ago on the Sky Princess, actually. And we just got chatting, and then he said he was a travel agent, and we said, oh, no problem, give us your card. And since then, we've got a great relationship. And obviously, as you all know, we use him, and he's brilliant. What's the matter?
Something on your neck. Little did he know how his life would spiral out of control after meeting Carole.
Exactly. And I want to say, because I've got a glass of wine, it's National Wine Day, so we thought we better have a drink.
I'll tell you something, every day's a wine day for Carole, whether it be the drink or the general demeanour. Anyway,
cheers to all. So Corinne's saying, hi, looking forward to meeting some of you in 2025. Yes, definitely. Now, for those that follow our social media, you'll know that we're planning a cruise in 2025, and we were getting so many messages on all our social media saying, look, what date is it? What are we doing? So Dan's still finalising. We're nearly there to go live. He's got a few things to iron out, and then we will be going live over the next, hopefully, sort of 4 weeks with live pricing and obviously being able to book. But we thought it was fair to everyone, because I know when I've wanted to go on other people's cruises that I wanted to know the dates in advance. So we felt it was only fair to put a save the date out. So for all those that they're not on our social media, our date that we're doing our group cruise is the 17th of May 2025. Now, I know that seems a long, long way away, but we thought it would give time for everyone to plan and to save, obviously, their pennies. And talking to a lot of people already, people are booked for 2024. So we thought that would be the fairest way, didn't we?
Totally, yeah.
So we're really looking forward to it. And like I say, hopefully over the next week or so, we'll be getting more details about what cruise that we picked, what company. It's for 7 nights. It's going out to Southampton, but we can't share any more details yet until it's all signed off. So but I'm so excited about it. It's going to be,
she's so excited she just can't hide it. I'm about to lose my mind.
You're going to sing.
No,
so anyway, so let's go back and see what questions we've got. So Exploring with Eric's here from California. We've got sunny weather like you, Eric. Look.
Yes, Eric, you've been being a bit cheeky behind the scenes, haven't you? You and that bloody Dan the Cruiser being mean to me.
We've got a Discord chat in our YouTube members and Patreon. It's a great place to be, and they've been really
no, it's not a great place to be if you're
Paul,
me.
And I love it. So carry on, boys. It's brilliant.
You should respect your elders.
Susan's here, so lovely to see you. And Andy and Carla is good evening all. Good to have you back live. I'm very excited about the date for the group cruise. Yeah, so like we say, 17th of May 2025, and more news coming very, very soon. Barbara's in sunny California as well, so lovely to see you here. Maureen's here, so many people, so thank you so much. And Erica is even doing a chant. Group cruise. So let's see.
Oh, there's There's Google Claire.
Google Claire. Oh, last night we had our members only live, and it's just lovely to chat to everyone. And Claire, fair play, we had you were asking, what was it? You've done a short with some ducks. But that's the
I'll
weight
see if I
of it,
can
isn't
turn
it?
that dog soundtrack down a bit in the background. Yes, and the randomness that is the questions I ask. So obviously, people who did our members only stream last night will know the answer to this. So this is out for the rest of you now.
Yeah.
You have to name this tune. Claire, don't you give them the answer.
Yeah.
And the tune goes. Boo-ba-doop, boo-ba-doop, boo-doop, boo-doop. So anybody who was on the live stream last night are not allowed to give a clue out, but anybody who wasn't,
yes,
the first person that gets the answer, I will let you buy me a drink the next time I see you.
Let's go scroll to the bottom to see if anyone's done it. So not yet, so we'll keep
Well, I only just done it.
I know. So let's go back to where we were. So yeah, so if you know the name of that song, but Claire was brilliant. So we have such a fun banter, and it's lovely that people chat with us like they do. And Claire was straight on it.
Claire is the queen
she
of Google.
Is. And we said, if Claire comes on our group cruise, you're definitely in our team for the quiz.
But you're not allowed to Google on the quiz. Eh?
And Kevin said, want more porn, go join their Patreon. Exactly that. So Jerry's here too. Always love to see Jerry. Good to see you. Sorry I missed you at Garstang. Yes, we were. We had such a lovely time up north, didn't we? Garstang was our first place that we stayed. Why were you looking at me strangely?
Because Carole finds it almost impossible to say up north without doing it in an accent. North, without doing an accent, which is very sort of disrespectful to anybody from north.
Yeah, but we had a fabulous time. We met Mandy and Chris, our YouTube members, and we went out for an afternoon and just laughed. That
wasn't in Garstang, though. That
wasn't in Garstang. In Garstang, we met Scotters.
And we had a fantastic time meal in Garstang.
We did.
And we got introduced to a supermarket chain, which we didn't know existed, called Booths.
Exactly.
Now, everybody up north, they'd be saying, "Oh my God, we just haven't got them down here."
No,
and we liked them.
It was very much reminiscent of a bit of Waitrose, so quite an upmarket supermarket. But we had a fab time exploring Blackpool, Morecambe, and when we went up to around Ambleside, around the lakes in Windermere. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, absolutely superb. And so we'll definitely be going back. And also we want to do a bit more of Yorkshire. And I'd love to get over to Northumberland. So definitely more motorhome adventures in our future coming up.
I'd love that dog to shut up.
Yeah, and me. Let's see if anyone's got the Booths is amazing. And join me for that name, that tune. Ant and Glenn are here. Oh, lovely Ant and Glenn. Booths is amazing. It is. Ant and Glenn, if you don't know, you've got to watch their channel because they make us laugh out loud. And they have just been, when we were in Las Vegas, they were literally the last night when we got there, we were absolutely shattered. But Glenn was busy packing, but Ant came home and met us at Planet Hollywood, wasn't it? We had a beer.
Well, what Ant actually said was Glenn couldn't be bothered. I don't want to cause a rift here, but we'd flown for 10 hours and Glenn couldn't be asked to come out and have a beer with us. But I won't hold it against him.
No, but Ant coming out, it was lovely to meet you. It was such fun. It was
fabulous.
Even though it was it was about 3/4 of an hour, wasn't it? Because obviously you had plans and we had plans. So
we weren't tired at all, were we?
We were shattered.
We'd been up for 25 hours when we met Ant. We had been up for 25 hours.
We had. But I just want to say, Ant and Glenn got married in Vegas, and then they went on a cruise around Hawaii. I think it was on Odyssey of the Seas. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the comments. So make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel because they got a lot of really good. I know it's going to be really good content because I love them because they just say it how it is, and I love people like that just don't beat around the bush. So yeah, it looks like someone's got it.
I've made a bit of a mess of my can, but it's Stowford Press mixed berries. Has somebody got it?
Baby Elephant Walk by Henry Mancini. Thank you, Warren Wolf. Well done there.
Yeah.
So, and Antigone said, yeah, I love meeting you both. We sailed on the Ovation of the Seas. Yes. So make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel. So that's brilliant.
Glenn and Paul can be grumpy together in the corner of the
group cruise. Yes. I think Glenn and Paul get on really well because they can just sit there and go,
we can have a grumpy off. Can't we? We'll be like Waldorf and Statler at the Muppets. This is the worst cruise ever. It's terrible.
Oh, do you know? I can't wait to this group cruise has been a long time in planning and thoughts, hasn't it, with Dan?
I'm too
and
scared
I
to say
think
anything.
I know it's a long way off, but it's going to be amazing. Oh my God, look who's just popped in. Robert Wayman. I both, when you're traveling motor, you find best to wear flip-flops in the shower. I know the showers are vastly improved, but I have a fear of verrucas. Oh my God.
Oh dear.
So Rob Wayman is Paul's brother's best friend from school.
Well, he was one of my best friends as well, but he lived next door but one.
Yeah.
I've known Rob since I was 10 years of age. He's much older than me, I have to say. He's about a year older than me.
Yeah.
And he actually joined us when we went up north and did the Windermere thing, and it was just so much fun catching up.
Yeah.
And Carole said, if you come on he said, I often watch your lives, and Carole said, well, you must ask a question.
I didn't expect that.
But yeah, definitely, if we'd have had a sweepstake, what's Rob going to ask?
Exactly.
It definitely wouldn't have been
so
that.
lovely to see you, Rob.
Yes.
And Leslie.
Yes.
So but you were
And it
great
was
company.
Yeah, thanks for your company.
So let's whiz back up, because obviously we're where were we? Because I don't want to miss people's questions. So let's see. Oh, where are we? Question.
Oh, well, I was thinking, I just thought I heard the doorbell go. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry.
The doorbell?
Yeah.
He's going to get a cider, isn't he? So Sandra's asking, love your channel. Question: the Hubs and I boarded the Queen Elizabeth, a 32-night cruise, Vancouver to Barcelona. My favourite lounging or cocktail areas on the QE you would recommend? Do you know? I think out of the 3 Cunard ships, QE is one of our. Well, I think it's my favourite. I will ask Paul when he's come back from the fridge. There's the Queen's room on the Queen Elizabeth and the Queen Victoria. We think is far superior than it is on the Queen Mary 2, because it's set over 2 levels, and the way it's just set out, we think it works a lot better. We're talking about Queen Elizabeth. About the lounges. The Commodore Club right at the top at the front is one of our favourite places for just nibbles and cocktails, isn't it?
Yes, lovely.
It's lovely. And on Cunard ships, one of the nicest places to go is the Corinthia Lounge, because they do the most fabulous cakes, don't they?
Do you want to know what that was at the door?
Mr. Stoford Press, was
it was the Amazon delivery driver, and I said, have you got a parcel, have you, mate? He said, no. He said, no parcels. He said, that's why I'm knocking on the door. He said, I haven't been here for 3 days. Is your wife still alive?
Anyway, back to cruising, Paulie. So, is that a pigeon? Anyway, so yes, so that's what I would say. Any other areas on Queen Elizabeth? The pubs are always good. The Golden Lion
pubs
pub
was fabulous.
Yeah.
I get confused about the different Cunard ships. Is that nightclub or not nightclub?
Not nightclub.
Not nightclub.
Well, there is a nightclub in the yacht.
In the
yacht club, which is a room upstairs, which is opposite Commodore Club, but it's very small. The Queen Mary 2 has got one of the best nightclubs at sea, we think,
yes,
which is G32. So, but have a fabulous time. 32 nights, wow.
But the Queen's room's fabulous.
Yes, it is. And Kevin said the new logo is great. Yeah, we're really pleased with it, actually. We've been back and forth with Nicola, and she's been such a gem. So that's brilliant. Martin's here. Martin Emery is a very cheeky man who's always taking the mick out of us on Instagram. So lovely to see that you've arrived, and keep it polite. So Stephen Williston's here as well. I hope we'll go watching with our rabbits. Pauline and Mickey, who love watching your videos.
Well, can't argue with that.
Oh, who knew? Amanda's here. Good evening. Just watching before the footy. Is it a big game tonight then, Paulie? Is it?
No, I think it's a couple of no-opers. I think Man United and somebody.
Oh, yes. Of course, Mandy. This is Mandy and Chris, who we met at North in Ambleside.
I can't
and
believe they're
big
together.
Football.
One's a Man United fan, one's a Liverpool fan. Yet they're still together.
Yes. But they were such good fun. It was so good to meet you guys.
And they introduced us to some of the best fish and chips we've
Yes. If you're ever in Ambleside, there's a place called the Ambleside Inn, and they told us about the best fish and chips. If you know Paul, that's his favourite thing. And no joking, this fish was like a whale, wasn't it? It was huge. And it was about £16, so not cheap, but actually it was worth every penny, wasn't it? And we went back after, obviously, you went home. We took, obviously, Dean and Oh, and
It's-
you all had fish and chips, didn't
It's
you?
very strange because they say, "Oh, we'll never go back." And we went with Amanda and Chris, and it was fabulous. And then I said to my brother about it. So I really fancy fish and chips, and we went to Windermere, and we couldn't really find anywhere that we liked. So we said, well, let's go back to Ambleside. We went back to Ambleside. I said, right, well, we're going to go in here. 3 of us ordered fish and chips, and it came out. And I think it was actually slightly better than the first time, and it was absolutely fantastic the first time. So my brother was chuffed to bits, as far as to say.
Yeah, he was. Windermere, we were sort of about 4 o'clock-ish, and they were, wherever we went, didn't serve food, did they? So it was a bit weird. But anyway, so Jack's saying lovely garden. Thank you. It's a bit of a mess, actually. We need a good chop, don't we? But we're never here to chop it. And our house sitters, old Jodie and Tina, who always stay when we're away. I can't ask them to do the garden as well. They water and they look after everything and stay.
Tina even got the grass cut for us last time.
She did. So, and Clinton's here.
But I did Debbie my new mower the other day.
Yes.
Because I bought a mower, and my brother said, you do realise that mower won't have any oil in it. And I thought, well, yeah, I never really thought about it like that. Sure enough, big sticker on there. You need to put oil in it, but it's like special oil. I got tons of oil. Being in the motor trade, racing cars, I got tons of oil. Not the oil for the mower. So it took me about 2 weeks to locate some. And then I did give it a little push around the other day.
Yes, that worked well, didn't it? So Sue's here as well. Actually, no, talking about Clinton. You were talking about your lawnmower.
Sorry, Clinton.
Ismaroka caught you.
This is the man with the truck, honey.
I know it's the man with the truck.
Carole, is that the one with the truck?
Of course it is. There's a picture of the truck there.
But that's what I say to you every time.
No, Clinton is, well, he goes all over the place. Last time you were going up to Saskatchewan, if I've said that right. But just cruising on the I-80 in Nevada, heading to Sacramento. He gets everywhere. He does get around. And Sue Hawkes is off on Britannia tomorrow, so have a great cruise.
We've never done Britannia, have
we? We haven't. No, we want to do more P&O. Did you see our deal about Aurora the other day that Dan sent? That was mad, because Aurora is very expensive normally because it's a small ship. And it was coming out something ridiculous, like £44 per person per day. And if we weren't booked on... whatever we were booked on when that was...
whatever we were booked on, whatever it is.
We couldn't do it because the dates didn't work. So... yeah, so we're starting to give Dan send us a few deals that he spots, just so people, save a few pennies here and there. It always helps, doesn't it? So Tom and Dom are here, so always lovely to see you guys.
Evening all.
And Lou B, so you must visit Palmer Cathedral. Oh, we do love a cathedral, don't we, Paulie?
So a nice cathedral. We like 2 things we like is a nice cathedral and a nice pub.
Yes, we do. Dave is asking, has anyone had an experience of venture ashore for excursions? We haven't, but I know probably people in the comments have. So hopefully, and not all that wandered lost is here as well from Vermont USA. #12 for the Wi-Fi. I don't know what that means, but fingers crossed.
I think he's saying he's pleased with it. We're pleased with it as well.
And Jane saying yes. Can't wait to see the t-shirts. You might need Paul. Well, it's in Spain. I know it's mad, isn't it? So well, can't do anything about the weather. I'm sure we'll enjoy it, whatever we get up to. Dawn saying, question came back from Azora 2 weeks based around Malta. No thinking of trying Sky Princess. Any idea how they might compare? No, we've not done Azora. We've done obviously P&O. P&O and Princess have similarities, but there are differences, aren't there? I know that sounds a bit random.
That's splinters in her bum from sitting on the fence so much.
I think what I like about Princess and compared to P&O is with Princess, you can buy a Princess Plus fare and it's all included. So you get your Wi-Fi, your gratuities, your drinks. And so therefore, when you get on the ship, you don't have to worry about paying any more. With P&O, as you'll have seen, there's been a big hoo-ha, but there are lots of discussion on social media about their new P&O drinks packages, which is now in 4 tiers. If you go to our website, Paul and Carole Loves Travel Drinks Packages P&O, Paul's been working really hard on making it sure that it's updated. We've been getting, thanks to Claire again, getting some updated menus and obviously the information from P&O. So for us, we've always found that the drinks package on P&O is not worth it. However, looking at the new one, it still doesn't seem like there's a huge amount of cocktails available.
There's a big... Well, there is plenty of cocktails available, but it's paying the money. There's been a bit Well,
But they're not a Bloody Mary.
Oh yeah, you can't get a
They're
Bloody Mary.
not standard things
No,
you would
standard
expect.
things. You have to build your own Bloody Mary. Just very, very briefly, pre this new drinks package launch, there was one alcoholic package which was $39.95 a day. All drinks $6.95 and under covered. The cocktail list was poor, to say the least. Well, to give you some idea, now that same package is £45. They've done away with up to $6.95s, and the reason being there isn't now a single cocktail on P&O that is under $6.95. The cheapest way into a cocktail now is £7.15 for a basic cocktail. They've got two packages. One's 45, one's 55. You get a discount if you book it before.
Yeah.
And is it good value? I don't think it is good value, to be honest.
It isn't for us. I mean, we like a drink, but still, when we've been on P&O, it's not for us. We've done the calculation. However, when we do go back on P&O, we'll recalculate. But for some people, it will be worth it. So look at our post on our website, because then you can see, you know, if you drink 10 wines a day or 2 wines a day, no, then you'll know. So Dan's saying about the excursions that you were asking about. He's used them. They're pricey, but very, very good. And Martin's asking when we're in Palma. We're there from the 10th to the 13th of next month. So, well,
it wouldn't be the 10th or the 13th.
It is. No, I know. June. Oh, so Claire's here. So lovely to see you here. Let's have a look. I watched last week from my little blue box. Oh,
I don't know what that is. I'm
having a brain.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
And Tom and Dom have used them as well, the excursion. So so let's have a look. So Claire's asking, will Dan be able to get good solar array? So the thing is whatever the company that we're dealing with will give us. So we haven't got control over the prices. We've got control over what we're going to do during our group cruise, and we've had control of what we've asked at the company that could be included. But pricing, unfortunately, isn't something that we'll have a lot of control over. So as soon as we get the confirmed prices, then we will be sharing them. So Ken's going to say about sofa press side is good, but I don't really do fruity ones. I leave them for Lindsay. Her favourite at the moment is Anning's strawberry and lime. So
what you're saying is then, Ken, that I'm drinking a girl's drink?
I think he is. So David H is asking, apart from P&O, are there any cruise lines that use GP and serve mostly British food?
Morella's very British.
Morella.
We love Morella, and obviously we're going to our next cruise is on Morella. But I think the disappointing thing at the minute is there's nothing coming out of the UK. If you want to do a Morella cruise, you've got to fly. And they do, and as a whole package. Got a new blog post coming out soon on our website.
Yeah.
But it's a package which is very good because they've got their own flights. They include flights. They include flights, transfers. So the price you pay, you don't have to pay anything on top of that. They're not. They used to be quite a budget cruise line. Now they are. The prices, to be fair, have gone up. But you do get quite a lot included, so you have to always take that in consideration. People say, oh my god, I can get on Iona for 450 quid. Yes, you can, but then you have to pay for drinks, you have to pay for, there's a lot that you pay on top of that, so you have to just work out for you what would, what the end total would be. And it is a double-edged sword, because obviously we're flying to Palma to go on our Morella cruise. Now, to get to that neck of the woods on a cruise ship out of Southampton would be a day and a half. Yeah. So if we were doing a 7-day cruise, we'd lose 2 to 3 days of sea days to get to the decent weather, even though by the looks of it, we're going to have awful weather. Well, so we'll see. It's one of those ones where you can do a 2-hour flight and then you've got 7 days without going through the Bay of Biscuits. Yeah. And so it's there's no right and wrong answer, really. And the other thing, David, I'm thinking of is they don't do it in pounds, they do it in dollars. But Cunard do a lot of British food, don't they? Particularly in the pub. Yeah. So,
And P&O do it well. You know, if you like your bangers and your bacon, your proper thick bacon, not the American bacon, you can get a good breakfast on P&O, can't you? And you can get some.
You can, you know, like you said on Q. I never thought of QNOD, but yeah, QNOD
Yeah,
it's very, very British, and it's not. I think people get a sort of a stick up there, whatever, about it being snobby and all that, but there always will be an element to snobbery, but it's the majority is very, very welcoming. It's very, very down to earth, but you will get some Cunardians who've been sailing on there since Titanic went down, and they don't like the likes of us youngsters coming on there. Them youngsters.
Well, I think they don't. We've had a lot of comments saying, "Why are you telling everyone that Cunard is
stop encouraging people
to go on Cunard because it's not formal." There's still that old school Cunard, but you know. We love Cunard because we love to dress up sometimes, and it is a very traditional British experience. But it won't be for everyone. But for us, we enjoy that from time to time. But then we can't wait to get on Morella because that's just chilled. They have sort of formal nights or dress to impress on Morella, but it doesn't matter what you wear, does it, on Morella? No. So anyway, let's go back to our questions because I can see how there's loads and loads and times are ticking already, isn't there? So where are we? Let's see. God, I've scrolled too far. I know. Oh. And Ray said, "Hi guys, just put the NCL cruise you mentioned. So pleased to have introduced to Dana. Brilliant, helpful man. Yeah, that was a great deal too, wasn't it? So I'm glad that you found Dana. We're glad we found Dan because he's been brilliant. Shrillex is asking, do you ever travel on planes or trains? We do. And we've got a very exciting trip coming up in March next year that's involving trains, planes, coaches, and all sorts, isn't it?
I went on a steam train last week.
Yes, Paul did. From Bowness. Right by Bowness, you went to the Motor Museum. I stayed at the campsite because that was the day the P&O, all the stuff coming out about P&O, and I thought, I'd better stay and do something about it. Paul said, right, see you, bye. I'm off on a train.
I said, let me stay you. And he said, no, you go out and enjoy yourself. I didn't want to go, but yeah.
But anyway, I did. Grant saying, thank you for covering my weekly laugh therapy. Keep up the good. Oh, thank you for coming and supporting us. Appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Kevin, because we've forgotten about that. We shouldn't have forgotten because it's that time of the year again. The Wave Awards are back. Last year we got to the top 8, and we were chuffed to bits with that. And we're always up against stiff competition. So if you like what we do, in the description, there's a link where you can win actually a cruise. If you'd like to vote for us, then we would appreciate it. So thank you for reminders, Kevin. That's brilliant.
But if you don't want to vote for us.
Chrissy's saying, looking forward to the group cruise. Yeah, we are too. And Rose has added the date to the calendar. So that's brilliant. Auburn Steve Adventures are here. Good afternoon from Houston. Wow.
Is it Houston or is it Houston?
Houston.
It's definitely not.
It's not Houston.
It's not Houston, honey, definitely.
So not all $1 is group on the line easy for Americans, but it is. Dan's negotiated with the cruise line that we can book people from Australia, Canada, and Americans. And there are a couple of stipulations, but if you are interested, when it all goes live, then Dan will be able to answer all your questions. So, and Kevin said, "Yay, Warren! Yeah, you got it right." So let's have a look. Simplicity looking forward to their first ever cruise. Sky Princess out of Southampton on 1st of July. Have a fabulous time. I love it when people are taking their first cruise because that first cruise, I always remember when we went on the Navigator of the Seas, and I hadn't cruised for many years, and it took me 7 years took Paul in to go in, and he was always like, why would I want to do that? And when I seen his face when we got on a cruise ship, and he was like, oh my God, no, it wasn't. It was like, oh my God, this is just amazing. And, you know, I hope that you have that feeling that we have that. And when we go on a new ship, we still feel that way, don't we? I'm getting goosebumps now. I love it. Absolutely love it when you go on a cruise ship for the first time.
Can we get your coat? Cold, eh?
No.
The scary thing is when we did our first cruise on Navigator, it was Navigator of the Seas you just said?
Yes, Royal Caribbean.
We didn't even go to the theatre. I didn't even know it had a theatre. We were enjoying ourselves much doing stuff, and we met some fabulous people. And it wasn't until the next cruise, and Carole said, we ought to go and watch one of the shows. I said, we want to watch one of the shows. So we did 5 whole days on a cruise and didn't even know.
But there was still so much going on, wasn't it? It was brilliant. Sean's saying, yeah, great scenery, but no Wi-Fi. No, it wasn't very good. We hoped to go live last week, but it just wasn't possible. So Dan is asking when your next Iona. Don't know. Hopefully we will be cruising with P&O at some point, but we're not sure. So let's see. So that's Grace is here. Always lovely to see Grace. We like chatting on Twitter. Mum got me a GoPro and said, sorry, it's not as posh as Paula's Insta 360.
Well, what can I say?
Paula's been using it a lot, but I'm still waiting for the contact to come over to me too, so I can put it on our vlogs.
I haven't worked out how to turn it on yet. So I keep saying to Carole, it's been really good, mate.
Talking about vlogs, excitingly, tomorrow is the start of our Carnival Celebration vlog series. And, you know, I've had so much joy editing this. And those creators that are in the chat now, you'll know what I mean. Some cruises you think, oh, it can be difficult to put your series together, but this one I've just been laughing, haven't we, just putting it together. And memories, because it was quite a culture shock, because we hadn't been to America for 20 years and a lot of things on the ship were very different to what we used to. So hopefully you'll all see, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So that's out tomorrow at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. That's I was going to say Eastern time, but I've got
no idea. That's why we always put UK time, because we're rubbish at time zones.
We just make any, apologies to anybody who's not in the UK. We make you do the homework. What's that mean? 6 UK time? I don't know.
Well, I always ask Bob. Innocence Abroad, Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah,
who's actually, if you
Bob's just swanning around now on a holiday, so we can't help out.
He's been in Japan. It's been so interesting following him, and he's on the queue. His first Cunard experience. So if you want to know more about obviously Queen Elizabeth, then make sure you follow Innocence Abroad, because they're on there now. Sherry's saying you guys crack me up. Oh, that's great to hear. Paul's asking, have any of your friends been affected by the NCR Epic being cancelled next winter? No, we haven't. We've been hearing a lot about NCR though, and about that they're not selling alcohol when they're in British ports, which has caused mayhem, because it appears, I don't know if this is fact, it appears that they haven't signed the appropriate paperwork to get to be able to serve alcohol in British waters. So there's lots going on with NCL at the moment, isn't there? There's also been a lot of discussion on the internet about they've been doing a lot of flight promotions, and there's been a lot of people quite unhappy that they've been having these cheap flights, but they've actually had families split up and go into different places and people have missed the ships. So there's lots of stuff. Fact, I don't know, but this is what we've been seeing on social media. So if you're looking for facts, don't come to us. No. If you want some gossip. No. Well, it's just a lot of things to think about. Could you imagine if you booked a cruise and a flight, and then all of a sudden you're told that actually, Paul, you're on this flight, but there's not enough room for you. No, you'd be like, yay! And I'd be mortified. Another beer, please. I know, you wouldn't worry. But anyway, so let's see. Oh, we've got somebody drilling a big hole in there. I know. Yeah, Sherry say Bob and Holly are in Japan right now. They are, so that's brilliant. So let's have a look. Sherry saying she subscribes to Amazon too. Look. Morris is here. Always lovely to see Morris. Hey, Morris. Hi guys. Question: have you considered Iceland? We're going in July on Aurora. Oh, see, rub it in it, because no. Yes, we have considered Iceland. We would love to go there, and we'd love to do Aurora. So we're very, very jealous. We walked past Iceland today, didn't we? When we were in town? We did. I think it's a different Iceland. Yes. So that'll be fabulous. For anybody who's not from the UK, Iceland is a budget frozen food shop. Yes, that sells pizzas and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. So Janet's saying, thanks for all the advice recently. Yeah, we've been talking to Janet on email about just a few things, and they're only in sunny Perthshire, which isn't far from us. So you're welcome, Janet. It's lovely to see you here. So anything else, just please ask away. David's asking, who will be the new Spurs manager? Well, funny enough, David Webb, I nearly made a comment, because David Webb was a very, if it is you, big up. A very, very famous Chelsea player.
who's called David Webb, and I think he managed them at one point. The list is getting shorter, and I saw the betting today, and I've now come in at 9-1, fifth favourite to be the next Spurs manager, because literally nobody wants the job whatsoever. I don't want to talk about football on here, which I'm not, because I'm talking about Spurs. But yeah, I mean, we'll probably end up with Brendan Rodgers, and we'll have the boringest football ever, and we'll get relegated. But the upside is that means I can go to Bristol and watch them play Bristol City next season. But
yeah, it's a bit depressing for a Spurs fan at the moment. It's just what's his name? Levy needs to go, doesn't he?
I bet Daniel, if you're watching this live stream,
I'm sure he is.
Just pull your finger out, mate. You got enough money. Just sell up and go.
Yeah,
exactly. You're down to your last 8 billion. You can move on now. Stop making us all so miserable.
Yeah, exactly. Sean's asking, will the Patreon membership get priority booking for the group cruise, maybe the highest tier? Yes, you will, because I'd like to explain this, because we've got obviously our Patreon and YouTube members who are loyal and support us, and obviously we're thankful to them and thankful to all the other subscribers that choose not to do that. But obviously, as a perk for supporting us with a subscription, then you will get that. So what's going to happen is when we get the green light to go ahead with booking, what will happen is for the first 3 to 4 days, patrons and YouTube members will be able to book first. And then we will open it up to our email list, which is we've got on our website. So if you don't subscribe to our monthly email newsletter, then please go to our website and sign up. It's on the homepage. Just sign up and you'll keep up with all the news that we've got. So it'll be patrons first and YouTube members, then it'll be emails, and then it'll be open to the general public. So yes, you will, Sean. So there you go. Let's have a look. So, Cooks Explore, nice to see you here. Loving the birdsong in the garden. Question, what's been the biggest change in your expectation of a cruise since you started your adventures? Ooh, that's a good question. I think sometimes we have to, for me, I think we have to sometimes sit back and stop being that, oh, it used to be like this. Oh my God, why hasn't that? Because since the pandemic, things have changed, and I truly believe that standards have dropped across the board. And I think for us, we have to stop thinking it used to be like this, because I think if we're going to go in with that attitude,
you'll never enjoy it.
Then you're never going to enjoy it. So you have to say, right, this is how it is now. How do we best enjoy it?
I think the phrase with COVID was, when we were coming out of COVID, and not with cruising, but with life, this is the new normal.
Yeah.
But unfortunately now that can be applied to so many different things, and I think cruising is definitely one of them, because they used to come out with a flannel about, oh yeah, we can't recruit anybody because of this, because of that. Well, we all know now that's a load of old cobblers. The weight of it is, I think, in my humble opinion, is cruise companies lost hundreds of millions of billions of pounds. Now they're trying to recoup it, and the less staff they pay, the more passengers they get on, the more money they make, which is going to lead to a drop in standards. And there is, and it's like the food standard. We did Azamara, which I know we had issues, but we had a fantastic time. And the food that we had on Azamara was exceptionally good. And then we talked to people who've been going on Azamara for 10 years, and they're like, oh, yeah,
food's terrible. And we're like, oh my God, this is the best food we've ever had.
Rubbish.
It was amazing.
Like, so it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
And another example, proper Paulie Morgan tangent. We went on Princess a couple of years ago. There were 10 or 12 family members, Carole's sister, my son, my dad, my brother, my sister, is all going on. Fabulous. And as anybody who's ever listened to me talk about the medallion app, it's rubbish. It seems to work better in Europe, but out of the UK, it's been quite consistent in its rubbishness. Everybody else is on there who's never experienced the medallion app or experienced a cruise. They're like, God, this is just like the best thing ever. And we're like, well, no, it's not. It's rubbish. So it's all about perspective. And unfortunately, have we got to lower our expectations? We probably have a little bit. But
Yeah.
hopefully things return to the heady days of when.
Well,
I
we'll
don't know.
see.
I don't know.
Hopefully,
But
but
obviously we still love it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it.
exactly. So, Not All Wonders Lost is saying weirdly specific question, but if I want the best chance of sitting by a window in MDR on QE, what size table should I ask for? 2-person? Are there any larger tables with the windows? There's a mixture. Now, my advice to you would be if you want company, just go with whatever. However, as soon as you get on board, have a walk around the restaurant and get the table numbers. Then go to the maitre d' and say these are the tables I want, because we do that. I always got a little notebook in my bag, and we've done that many times. I go and say, are these available? And they look at you strangely, but say, we want these. So can we? And 9 times out of 10, they will accommodate you. So make sure as soon as you get on, just have a look. We can't tell you what specific numbers. We were with couples with Deb and Steve when we were on QE, and we had a table for 6, but there was only 4 of us on there, and we looked over the promenade, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that was actually really nice. But yeah, but table for 2s don't tend to be by the windows.
But it's always worth a little mooch around the restaurant.
Going
when
with a piece of paper and write down all the tables
when they're closed.
Yeah.
Have a walk round. Say, well, I wouldn't mind. And the thing is, like you said, the more information you can gather. So if you can give them 20 table numbers, right? Is this available tonight? No. This one, no. This one, you might drop lucky. But without going in there, they won't. They got too much going on to say, oh, I'll see what I can do. But if you go in there with specific requests, you've got a fair chance.
Always just ask, and most maitre d's and the staff will try and help. It's rare that you won't get that, so just that would be our advice. And Yoda of Chatsfield, thank you for your video. Go on Saga Spirit of Adventure, the midship cabin, or modship, I presume that's midship cabin next to the one you took. Oh, we loved Saga, didn't we?
It's fabulous.
It's fabulous. It's quality. So have a fabulous time. So Ken says in Palmer, the Shamrock Irish pub is worth a visit.
Who doesn't love an Irish pub?
Well, exactly.
Is there anywhere in the world where there isn't an Irish pub, I wonder?
Well, probably not. Maureen's.
It's like Carole was looking at me quizzically then, like she was going to give me the answer to that question.
So Maureen's.
I bet Claire's already Googled that. She's going to tell me where it is.
Andy Glenn said, you're so diplomatic on those drinks packages. Yeah. It's just so So Lee's asking, this may be asked, do you have any plans to cruise on Arvia? We would love to go on Arvia because we really enjoyed Iona, but we haven't got anything booked at the moment. Kevin's put, so Kevin's got putting stuff in the comments. So if you want to look at that's the drink package info, but also the award of our wave award. So thank you so much. So let's see. We did enjoy our trip up north. Janet's just saying
it was fabulous. It's love. We had a great time meeting new people, spending time with the family and Rob and Les.
Yeah. So let's see. Seen that there. But let's just go on down. So Christine's asking, we had a lovely cruise that started on Bolette after watching your video. Do you know, we really want to get back on Fred Olsen because they are quite traditional and British, aren't they, in lots of ways? So we'd love to do that. Sandra's saying, glad you said that about Cunard. We are younger, not so not snobbery. Hopefully we'll find folks like you to hang out and enjoy with. Honestly, there is an element of snobbery on Cunard. You will not get away from that. However, most people that go on Cunard love to dance, love to party, and love to have a good time.
Totally, yeah.
And we've met some fantastic people, so I hope you do too. Yeah, Jerry's said about Saga. They're in Stirling on excellent food. Yes, that's a really good point. They definitely are. So, Janet's asking, question of America Cruise booked September. Can I buy insurance? Always, when you book a cruise, always make sure you got insurance, because if if something happens and you have to cancel, so we always recommend that people have travel insurance. It's scary how many people that we know that travel without insurance. Why?
It doesn't seem
it's just crazy.
It doesn't seem to be so much of an issue now, but I remember pre-pandemic, and there was I think it was a Royal Caribbean Facebook page, and It was like, well, should I buy insurance? Yes or no? Was the sort of tagline to the Facebook post, and it was like at least 50% were saying no,
Don't
don't
bother.
bother with that.
Could
It's
you
like,
imagine
and
if
I
you had
just
to be
thought,
airlifted off a ship,
yeah.
or you had to have hospital? Why would you ever? But we never. We've got annual insurance. In fact, we're doubly insured
doubled
because
at
we
the
got
minute.
one with our bank, and we took out an extra one for missed port. So we're happy to pay that
Yeah.
because we feel comfortable. Then wherever we go in the world, we're sorted.
But we did, funny enough, a Morella cruise, which we did the Suez Canal.
Yes, we did.
What was it called? Red Sea something,
Yeah.
right? And
Red Sea Quest or something.
Red Sea Quest, and there was 3 major medical situations during that cruise.
And sadly, one guy didn't make it.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, could you imagine the bill of everything?
So 2 got airlifted off.
Yeah.
One guy, unfortunately, didn't make it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if that isn't bad enough, you imagine then that, oh, yeah, by the way, you know, that's just cost you like 40 grand to get your husband home. It's going to be like...
Because you could lose everything, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, Tina's here. Always love to see Tina. So it's still later after last night. I know. It threw us last night too. So
it threw me because I said, "You sure it's 8?" She said,
yeah.
That's what everybody voted for. So why are we giving the power back to the people?
So, question: they're going to get married. Which ship do you suggest? Do you know?
Well, first off, just stop it. Just don't do it. Remember what I said earlier? This hair was brown.
Maybe Pete's grey already. Who knows?
Well, if you're grey already, Pete, then do get married. If you're not, or if you're bald already, you know.
The only experience we've got of people getting married on cruise ships is with the Cruising Canucks. Their daughter got married on Sky Princess, and they had an amazing time. And Princess looked after them really well. So make sure you check out their vlogs, because they couldn't say highly enough about
good things.
Yeah. So,
but honestly, we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
But I'm sure that any cruise line will properly look after you. But like I said, we haven't got that experience to point you in that right direction.
Good evening from sunny South Gloucestershire. We're sailing on Ione to the Fjords on Saturday. Would you recommend a visit to the King and Cow? Yes. Fabulous steaks, fabulous burgers, fabulous. If you like camembert cheese, it was a Hampshire cheese.
Well, it wasn't a camembert, but because it was
food
Hampshire,
is amazing,
fabulous, and they do an amazing steak pie.
They do.
They do. It's
it does cost extra per item,
but you pay per dish, which is what we like. But it's fabulous. And don't listen to that stupid bloody app thing that says, "Oh, there's 400 people waiting to get in the King and Cow." Always go
and speak to them.
Go and speak to the maitre d' on the front desk and ask him, because when we were on there, we tried booking it. They said we were in the queue with 35 people, and we went there, and there was about 2 people in there eating, and it's like, "Oh, mate, can we come in?" Yeah, crack on. I said, "Was 35 people in the queue?" And he just like, app rubbish.
Yeah. So just say hi to Nick, who's just joined our membership. So thank you so much. That's brilliant. So let's have a look. I'd seen just a question about oh, where is that? I've gone. Yeah. Anton Glenn just been saying, I 100% agree. I've been reliving our trip whilst editing, never stop smiling. Totally. It's hard work editing videos, but reliving trips is brilliant. And having those videos then I like to rewatch our videos. And I say, "Oh, Paul, should we watch our Red Sea, or should we watch this?" Is like, "No, put the football on."
It's harsh, isn't it?
It is harsh.
What gets really bad is on Monday, I was a little bit under the weather, and I had to have a day in bed. I was a little bit poorly, and I could hear Carole editing downstairs in between my sleep. I slept for 5 hours, to be honest, but in between that, I could hear Carole editing and laughing at herself on the video.
It was lovely.
And I gotta be honest, I was pretty rough, but it warmed the cockles of my heart that she was getting so much pleasure out of watching 2 silly old farts on a cruise.
Exactly. And Pip just said she's voted for us. Love you too. So thank you, Pip. Appreciate that. And Hawks Travels just asking that same question. You ever got a chance to look back at your old vlogs? Do you see much difference? We love them all. We do, and sometimes when I look back at our early stuff, when we were just doing hotel review stuff, it's quite cringy. However, you have to start somewhere, and I'm so glad we did. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this amazing community that we do now. I think hopefully. I was pigeon.
That's on Gary Bembridge, is he? A pigeon flying past.
I hope our editing skills or our vlogs have improved, but actually, I don't think we'll do anything different. We like to sit and chat and tell you how things are, and I don't think we'll ever do anything different from that. So, yeah, but it is. I love looking at them. Paul doesn't, do you? Jack's asking, how do I vote? Just go to in the description after this video, Jack. Just go to the description. You'll see a link for the Wave Awards. So, and Andengler said, nothing says beige like an Iceland buffet. Ah, brilliant.
What, even a prawn ring?
Oh, I do love a prawn ring, though, don't I?
God. That's how,
I love prawns.
She's so sophisticated.
I know. Oh, dear. So, and Janet's also asking, so hopefully that answered your question if you would like to vote for us. So, let's see. Yeah, Ken's saying also as well, he's seen quite a few P&O edits from a distance, and they've said they've had a good experience. So, yeah. And David Webb saying, I'm not the... David Webb has scored the FA Cup replay winning goal. My dad was Crystal Palace fan, so I'm not even named after him. That's my claim to fame in tatters.
Oh, sorry, David.
So let's see.
Well, I'm trying for you. I tried to pick you up. So now we've got David Webb on our live stream, who's not the David Webb, and we also got John Lewis, who usually is on our live streams, isn't he?
He is.
And he hasn't got a shop.
Oh dear. So let's see, because we've only got a few minutes left. Let's have a look.
We've got a few minutes left, and I'm really hungry, and we're having satay chicken for tea.
We are. Have you heard or seen anything with the Morella Voyager? I know you're cruising very soon. We're on it in September. Yes, I have, Jolly Rob. What I'm excited about, they've got sort of a bit of a different buffet style. I think it's going to be a lot like Virgin. They've got like a food hall with all different types of. They've got a roast dinner place. And I love.
All you need to know is in the buffet area, they I think, because I've just been writing a blog about this, and it's something like up to 10 different places, something like that. And as soon as I said to Carole, they got a place called the Gravy Boat. That she didn't need to know anymore. I said, I'm in.
Gravy.
I'm in. Where is it? I'm in.
You haven't written a blog post. You've just been preparing a blog post. So when we get on board. But yes.
I've told Carole I've been writing it.
We're really looking forward to seeing, because we hope they've really shaken up a few things. Yeah, so that should be good. So let's have a look, see what we've got. So Cruising Gaze have got that's a good point about the cruise cover for travel insurance. So if you are getting travel insurance, make sure it does cover what you're doing.
Because we did that we got a policy with Barclays, and we had to contact them, and then they wrote us a covering letter to say that there was cruise cover and COVID cover, which hopefully we'll never need again.
Exactly. Explore with Eric says he'll respect his elders from now on.
Yeah, but Dan hasn't said that, has he?
John saying, have you just joined? But yes, we are on there next week.
Well, we haven't heard. I mean, I'm assuming it's ready, is it?
Joe saying about the new businesses for an upgraded cabin. Do you know, we've never done it, so we don't know how, if it works, or I'm sure it does work, but we've never done it. So, yeah, don't know. It's mixed feelings about that. I just think if you want an upgraded cabin, just go for it. But I guess you could bid and win it for less money. Don't know. That's an interesting one.
So Dawn Davis said we're breaking up.
Oh, are we? Oh, hopefully we're.
We haven't had any issues. Are you sure it's not your Wi-Fi, Dawn? Have you checked your jibber jabber cable or whatever?
Jibber jabber cable.
I don't know what it's called.
Jenny said the Tunworth cheese. That's it. Tunworth.
Oh, yes, it was lovely.
And the vegetable kofta balti. I had a curry in there too, didn't I? Which was delicious. Absolute delicious.
I think that might have been what you had.
I think it was. And Carole's just come back from Santorini. Loves seeing the cruise ships there. Santorini's beautiful, isn't it? We went there on Morella Dream, and the views. It's a beautiful island. Quite a trek up to the top there, but we took the cable car. Well, no, it wasn't a cable car, was it? It was more of a.
It was a cable car.
It was, but it was more of a.
Yeah. What was it on, Annie?
It was on cables. I know.
And unfortunately, it brings back sad memories because that's where Carole had the demise of one of her favourite flip-flops. Where she was, it doesn't matter what I don't know what was going on with you women. It doesn't matter whether it's 2 foot of mud, you go in like digging a hole or whatever it is.
Show them.
You always got
grab that.
You always got flip-flops.
So this is the story about flip-flops.
No, I'm going to tell a story about flip-flops.
No, this flip-flop. Well, I've got a pair, obviously.
Yeah, should have got one now.
No. They were £1 in Thailand about 13 years ago, and they're the most comfiest flip-flops I've ever had. And I had a blue pair, as you can see here. I had a red pair and a white pair. And my red pair broke when I was... they melted, didn't they?
She stayed in one... It was so hot in Santorini. She stayed in one place for too long taking photos. And when she went to move, the flip-flop stuck to the floor. And it ripped the toe piece out.
The thong bit.
The thong bit.
Yeah.
So she then had to go barefoot back to the ship, which, you know, because I'm a sympathetic and loving husband. You should have
given me a piggyback.
I thought it was hilarious because I hate flip-flops. I hate them. I hate the noise they make. I don't like wearing them. I hate them. And so we managed to get... Carole's like scuttling through the shadows like a lizard.
It was like I was on Ninja Warrior.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Believe me. So, and it was a tender port. So we get the tender, and then we get back to the Thompson, whatever it was. What was
Dream.
It? Dream. The ship is 400 years old. So instead of a lovely welcome where you go onto like a red carpet, you've got to go up these corrugated metal stairs, which were about 125 degrees at the time. Carole's feet on the bottom were tattooed with the marks from the stairs.
It was awful.
And that's when I said to her, I told you flip-flops were rubbish, but she wouldn't believe me.
Julie's the best flip-flops in the world are Arches. Well, I've never heard of them. I have to write that down.
I know they had a... Well, this is the question I'm going to leave you with because we're signing off now. What was their big hit then, the Arches?
You can ask that question now if we're signing off.
Yeah, of course we can. People can put them...
Write in the comments below. Anyway, that's now done. So thank you all so much for... hope to see you on the Voyager next Saturday. Yes, Paul Brown's on there. So hopefully see you there.
You're not Paul Brown, the bass player out of the Shy Heads, are you?
Oh, that'd be lovely if it was.
And Tina saying good night. Shy Teds, by the way.
Yes, there's a brilliant band in Gloucester called SHYTEDS.
Yeah, they're Teds and they're shy. They're the Shy Teds.
Anyway, we're off. Thank you so much for joining us. More news about the group cruise.
Chris is already on it. She's done it already. Chrissy McCullough. She beat Google Claire to it.
Brilliant. So thank you all for joining us. It's been fun as always.
Yes.
And we will see you same time next week, just before we get on Morella Voyager. Cheers all.